The Shocker bursts through the wall of George Stacy's office and knocks Stacy out as we dive straight into the action. He's here to steal the clay tablet that Spidey left with Captain Stacy last issue, and when Gwen arrives, he takes the tablet and leaves. George comes to once more and Gwen calls the police, but if the Shocker once fought Spidey to a standstill, who's gonna stop him now? We're reading every Spider-Man ever, and this is the Amazing Spider-Man issue 72, Rocked by the Shocker. The Shocker is visiting a fence to sell the tablet, but because Spider-Man got it back from the Kingpin, no one wants to touch the tablet now, for fear of Spidey's wrath. Well, if everyone is afraid of Spider-Man, the Shocker will give them something to really be afraid of, and he begins a rampage. It's a rampage so momentous that Peter Parker hears about it on the bus and runs off at the next stop to intervene. But he has to be quick, because he's meeting Aunt May in an hour. As Spider-Man, he swings down to fight the Shocker on the rooftop, but his punches become glancing blows against the Shocker's vibrating suit. The Shocker blasts a hole underneath Spider-Man and Spidey falls, saving himself with webbing and popping back up to kick the consciousness out of Shocker. Thinking that he's won, Spider-Man carries the Shocker over his shoulder, but is surprised by Shocker's sudden alertness and thrown from the building. He's able to save himself, but the Shocker gets away. Fortunately, Spider-Man hits him with a tracer. With the Shocker dealt with, for now, Peter is able to make it to the train station in time to see his Aunt May off. She's heading to Florida for a break, with the money that Peter got from the Bugle last issue. And to add to the good news, the headline in the Bugle is positive about Spider-Man once again, calling out his heroic fight with the Shocker that happened half an hour ago? The paper also talks about Doc Connors, and Spider-Man remembers that he's the Lizard, which I'm sure is nothing to worry about. Meanwhile and elsewhere, Jonah is in the hospital and he's just seen the headline praising Spider-Man. His own paper, praising Spider-Man. He rants and he raves and he tries to call the office until a nurse sedates him. Back with Peter once again, and he is caught up with Gwen, who is worried about her dad after his run-in with the Shocker. As they both enter a cafe together, they run into Flash Thompson, on leave from the army. Gwen greets him warmly, but a joke comment from Flash gets Peter mad that he's trying to cut in on his girl. But Gwen doesn't understand. How can he be a chicken when things get tough, but then act angry around the real heroes? And Peter can't tell her the real reason, but at least he can beat up the Shocker. And so he does, finding the Shocker robbing an armoured car. Spidey punches him and dodges his blasts, and when the Shocker knocks a wall down on top of Spider-Man, he's able to cushion it with his web. He then webs the villain's feet, slams him headfirst into the ground, webs up his face and throws him into a giant spider's web. That's a lot of webs. And in case the Shocker feels like vibrating out, Spider-Man takes his shock gauntlets too. It was almost a perfect fight, until the driver of the armoured truck shoots at him, thinking that Spider-Man's in league with the Shocker. So Spider-Man flees, annoyed at his bad Parker luck, while the armoured truck driver finds the Shocker webbed up, and the money safely nearby. Thanks for watching and joining me on this journey to read every Spider-Man comic ever. If you're eager for more or want to support the channel, you can get early and exclusive episodes on Patreon, or joining this channel. Next week it's Namor versus the Human Torch, but not that one. But until that issue, here's a fun fact about this one. The breakdowns for this issue were done by John Buscema, who, according to Roy Thomas, hated drawing Spider-Man, despite being great at it. This was mostly done to give John Romita more time, although Romita did draw the cover.